Tonight on News Central 34.
Find out what happened to the plans of a new homeless shelter.
And see what event will be coming to the Central Michigan Music Building. All these stories and more coming up on News Central 34.
Live from Mount Pleasant's own, this is News Central 34 at 5.
I'm Mary Klink.
And filling in for Randy Oja, I'm Scott Elke. The Mount Pleasant Planning Commission has rejected a proposal to place a 19-bed homeless shelter in downtown Mount Pleasant. News Central 34 caught up with Planning Commissioner Dr. Peter Orlick, who gave us some insight on why the proposal was rejected.
To have a residence for 19 people in an office district simply didn't conform to the requirements of the zoning ordinance for the city of Mount Pleasant. So it was denied on those grounds as simply being an inappropriate use for where they wanted to put the shelter.
The planned location for the homeless shelter would have been on the corner of Lansing and Mosier. The Christian Union Restoration Group was the applicant for the special uses permit. Many residents that live near the area were opposed to having a homeless shelter in the location. The group will more than likely have to find a new location for the housing structure.
The internet is performing at new speeds for many in Clare County. Clare County's Enterprise Community, a nonprofit organization, aims to connect municipal buildings to a high-speed connection and bring wireless internet to people without access to high-speed connections. Now in the second phase of the project, fiber optic cables buried in Clare and Harrison provide broadband access to Clare Public Safety Department and City Hall. The final phase is providing high-speed internet to everyone living in the Clare-Gladwin Regional Educational Services District.
Central Michigan University School of Music is hosting an event called the Opus 13 Music of Motown. It's a night featuring live music, dancing, and food. Tickets are on sale now for $125, which includes a $75 tax-deductible contribution to the School of Music. The event is scheduled to take place on Saturday, April 10th at 6 p.m. at the CMU Music Building. The Opus Gala is an annual fundraiser put on by the School of Music with food from the Soaring Eagle Casino and Robert's Bakery catering dessert.
While Congress passed national health care reform, a bipartisan reform plan to make health insurance more affordable and accessible is taking shape in Michigan. The bills have been introduced to the State House and Senate. According to some experts, the bills are designed to increase access to insurance coverage and help stabilize Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. The bills require insurance companies to offer guaranteed issue health plans regardless of a person's health and prohibit insurance companies from increasing rates on the sick. And Michigan's seasonally unadjusted unemployment rate went down in the state's 17 major labor markets in February. The state's seasonally unadjusted rate for February was 14.1%. A spokesman for the Department of Energy, Labor, and Economic Growth said in general the local labor markets were stable. Ann Arbor had the state's lowest unemployment rate at 8.9%. The Northeast Lower Michigan region had the highest rate with 19.9%.
Central Michigan University is among 10 of the state's 15 public universities that saw an increase in enrollment in the 2008-2009 academic year. The numbers are according to a report by the House Fiscal Agency. Other universities welcoming more students last school year include Ferris State, Grand Valley, Michigan State, and the University of Michigan Ann Arbor and Flint campuses. Overall, total enrollment was up 0.3% from the previous year. Full-time student enrollment increased by 1.2%.
The numbers are in for auto sales last month, and most of the major automakers saw a boost in sales from last year. Ford reported an almost 40% increase in sales. General Motors sales were up nearly 21%. However, the same cannot be said for Chrysler. Now owned by Fiat, Chrysler reported sales down 8% from last year. Foreign automakers also posted positive sales from last year. Toyota sales increased nearly 41%. Honda sales were up 22% and Nissan reported a 43% increase.
The Isabella County Recycling Center will be accepting yard waste for free on Saturday, April 24th from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. During normal business hours, the center charges a small fee of $1 for each 30-gallon container of leaves and grass clippings and $12 per cubic yard of brush. The center is located at 4208 East River Road in Mount Pleasant. If you have any questions, please call 989-773-9631.
And that's all we have for this evening. Thanks for tuning in to News Central 34. I'm Mary Klink.
And I'm Scott Elke. Have a great night.